You may be wondering, do I have anxiety? Hi, my name is Sophie from SoFit Life. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you'd like to see more videos about meditation, exercise, and nutrition, feel free to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that way you can be notified when we post our most recent videos. We're going to be talking about what are the effects of anxiety. What are the effects of it? What are the symptoms? Do I have anxiety? Does my family member or friend have anxiety? Well, that's what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over effects of anxiety and dive a little bit deeper how that can have an impact on your life and what those effects look like. So these are some of the similar symptoms that I relate with is having sweaty palms, feeling sweaty, pacing around, hyperventilation. So just feeling like you can't breathe, having trouble concentrating, feeling weak, tired, tense, bored. All of these emotions and feelings are symptoms of anxiety. And this is really important to ask yourself, do I have 2 or 3 of these or all of them or more? Because if you do, chances are you may have anxiety. Now, disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. We cannot diagnose you if you have anxiety, but you have similar symptoms that you want to just resolve before it gets worse and before it could possibly develop into anxiety. What we can tell you is certain things that you can do to help these emotions. Many people have these signs and symptoms of anxiety. It's something that they may not even realize. It's something that you may not even realize that you have. When I first got clinically diagnosed with general anxiety, which also led me to feel depressed and stressed out, but my main thing was I struggled with anxiety and I didn't even know I had anxiety. It's just a subconscious sensation you're not really consciously aware of. That's why it's really important to identify feeling nervous, restless, or tense, having a sense of panic. You could be possibly going about your day, driving, going to work, and you notice you have a lot of tension in your neck. And a lot of times we have problems that are not only in our mental state, but also it translates into our physical. That's why it's very important to practice your forms of meditation and having the proper nutrition, because that's going to be able to help prevent you from feeling so tense and having all of these terrible emotions. For example, stretching is a really great practice of movement and meditation to be able to get yourself out of those negative effects. Before I was diagnosed with general anxiety, I had a lot of trouble in school concentrating. I had a lot of trouble focusing. Like, I would study so much for the test. I would study, and then I would study too much to the point where I would get to the test and I would get so anxious and nervous, I would forget everything that I had just studied. You know, you're having all these negative emotions right before a test, and then you're during the test and you completely fail it, because if you're experiencing or have experienced something like that, then you may be feeling anxiety or certain symptoms related to that. One of the most important things I wanted to address is, just like we need to exercise our mind, like I've said before, we need to go to school, we need to go to work, we need to learn the language, we need to educate ourselves, get certifications, be able to have certain qualifications for jobs or learn certain things. These are all certain things that we need to acquire for our minds. Our bodies need the same attention. They need to work the same, but in a physical sense. That's why it's mind, body, both of them come together. With the physical aspects of it all, it's very important to be able to move your body in order to relieve all of that mental stress, all those emotions that you may feel throughout the day, because if you don't do anything about it, you just go to work, go home, or you go to school, go home, or you just go about your day or laying down in bed all day. Your body, just like your mind, needs to go to work and needs to learn and to become smarter. You need to make sure that you're exercising and moving your body in order to release and relieve all of that buildup, because if not, then your anxiety is going to begin to worsen. The effects of anxiety can be a very concerning issue. You need to make sure that you're exercising and going along with your routine. If you don't have a routine, then you really should create one. Like, for example, me, I wake up in the morning, I make my bed, I get dressed, I do my skincare routine, I make sure my room is clean, I go and I do some cardio, I come back, I have my first meal of the day, and then later on in the day I go work out and I do my my cardio for the end of the day. But for me personally, I have to do a little bit more cardio than normal. That's just basically my routine, and I have actually learned to have a passion for it and enjoy it as I'm doing it, because it's kind of like a part of my work, but it's also separate from what I do during my day. And it's my time to be able to de-stress, and I feel really accomplished afterwards, because it's definitely something, being consistent and facing adversity even when you don't feel like it is something that's very difficult. So essentially, when I got diagnosed with anxiety, I started to go and do some yoga. That's what my psychologist had recommended me to do. So when I started to go do yoga, I realized, wow, the effects of anxiety are starting to minimize, but I'm also starting to reap the benefits not only in my mind but also in my body. That's where I started to realize that there's so many things that I can do for my anxiety, and yoga, being a form of meditation, is one of those things that I can do to help with the effects of anxiety. Right now, I have made a lot of progress, and I'm kind of at a baseline right now. I feel that anxiety is always something that most people deal with. At least if it's not all people, most people deal with that. We realize that if we do certain things consciously, it can then positively or negatively, or just have a general effect on our mind, subconscious mind. That's why it's really important for you to do certain tactics and strategies in order to manage your feelings of anxiety, whether you've been diagnosed or not. Go out and have some sort of healthy routine where you can relieve that anxiety. For example, if you're someone, or a friend that gets really upset and wants to get into fights with people, so then they channel that anxiety and that anger and aggression into a positive form of meditation, which I would consider like boxing or MMA, or something that is a positive release, that's a physical activity that they can participate in. Now you know some of the effects, signs, and symptoms of anxiety. And if you already have anxiety or have been diagnosed with it, now you know some of the skills and tactics that you can do in order to subside and alleviate any symptoms that you're facing, in order to minimize it and be able to get out of it. I really want to help you to prevent yourself from going down that path, or be able to help you get out of it if you're feeling like you're really stuck in that anxiety cycle and feeling bored, losing focus, having trouble paying attention. These are all things that I feel many people struggle with. I'm sure you struggle with it, and I know that I do. And I've really been able to get out of that because I really have learned to take care of myself, and realizing that when I go through a hard time, like the event where I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and then now I'm here and I realized, you know what, maybe it's better that I took this route to become an entrepreneur, because it's something that fulfills me and that I really feel like it's my purpose in life, and it's one of the best things that ever happened to me. Back then, I didn't think of it like that, and I was going through a really hard time to understand why this had happened to me, and it was like what I wanted to do with my life and why isn't it working, and I was just so focused on that and worrying about that constantly that it would stress out myself and my loved ones around me. Then I came to learn a new passion of yoga and meditation, exercise, and the whole aspects of health and fitness that really have helped me to subside that anxiety. So like some of the things I was saying, that I wake up, I make my bed, I clean up my room, I get dressed, I do my skincare routine, I make sure that I eat very well, and actually we're going to be making a video very soon, so stay tuned for that on what I eat in a day. And I love to make sure that I'm taking care of myself, I'm eating enough protein, I'm eating healthy meals, I'm getting my cardio in, I'm getting my exercise in, I'm practicing different forms of meditation. For me, I like to do journaling, guitar, and paint and things like that as more of like a hobby and stuff, and even sharing it as well. I love to journal, really I love to write affirmations to myself of things that I have and that I appreciate and that I want. So that's personal to me, but of course there's so many other different physical and mental activities and hobbies that you can participate in order to be able to subside those issues of anxiety. And I know that everybody's different, but I'm sure that some that you could think of. Maybe just ask yourself, what are the types of things that you like to participate in? You can make that a part of your daily routine in order to alleviate that tension. But I just really wanted to be able to share my story of how I went through anxiety and how I came out of it through the other side. I really don't feel like I struggle with anxiety as much as I did. I really feel like I defeated it. Of course, I still do have those symptoms and things of that nature. I really haven't honestly gone back to my psychologist, but I would like to see her again soon. I would like to make an appointment and just tell her and see like, oh, just touch base with her. But she really did help me a lot. The point is, I'm rambling on. Um, those are many things that I do to be able to deal with it, and that's what I feel like has truly helped me with the effects of anxiety and being able to minimize them. So I really hope that you are able to learn if you're dealing with any of these signs or symptoms. And if you already have been diagnosed with anxiety, I hope that these tips that I shared with my life of how I got through my anxiety, how I got through the darkest rock bottom part of it, how it helped me, the certain things that I do now, I hope that what I share with you about what I do with my anxiety has helped you. Because that's really why I've started this channel. I really want to be able to help people to learn that a lot of their career and personal problems, when it comes to those negative feelings, can truly affect your mood and your dedication and commitment to yourself and your goals, your career goals and your life, and of course fitness and health. So sorry, my voice is getting kind of dry. I've been talking a lot. Wow.